him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack 'em a gob, it's time for the only news that matters. And Jack Russell, former singer for Great White, has announced on social media that he will be retiring from touring on account of his health. He said, "To my fans and friends, it is with the heaviest of hearts that I must announce my retirement from the road. After a recent diagnosis of Lewy body dementia, LBD, and multiple system atrophy, MSA, in May of 2024, I am unable to perform at the level I desire and at the level you deserve. Words cannot express my gratitude to the many years of memories, love, and support. Thank you for letting me live my dreams. You have made my life a wonder." Lewy body dementia is the second most common type of dementia after Alzheimer's disease, affecting more than 1 million people in the U.S. How quickly symptoms, which include problems with thinking, movement, behavior, and mood. It varies from person to person. Actor Robin Williams, who died in 2014, suffered from the disease. Multiple system atrophy, however, is a much more rare, affecting approximately between 2 and 5 people per 100,000. This is such sad news, and Jack Russell, man, I thought he has an awesome voice, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of Great White after that first album, but what he did on that EP, On Your Knees EP, which I got as Recovery Live / the On Your Knees EP, which is half live, half the EP, produced by Don Dokken, by the way. Love it. And that first album, phenomenal. Absolutely love both of those. And I was supposed to see them open for Judas Priest on the Defender of the Faith tour. And when it got here, we got Kick Axe. Nothing against Kick Axe. It was on their album Vices. Cool Canadian band. I am not complaining, but if I had to choose, I would have choose 1984's Great White. That album, man. Street Killer, you know, Out of the Night, the great cover of Substitute, On Your Knees, Dead End. I mean, what an awesome, amazing album. And when that album came out, you know, I mean, they didn't come, and then it took what felt like forever. It could have been like 2 years, but 2 years back then in the 80s was an eternity. Because I remember between High and Dry and Pyromania, that took forever. And a lot, you know, and then from Pyromania to Hysteria, that took beyond forever. It was like 4 years or something. But back then, 2 years was a long time. Shit. There were times in the 70s where bands were at least 2 albums a year. But I remember that next album, after the first album, took forever to come out. And it was on a different label, I think. And I saw the video for the song Face the Day, which is a cover song. And I really dug it. I was like, yeah, this is a cool song. It was a little different than what I hear on the first, you know, on the EP, on the first full-length album. But I went and bought it anyway, and I didn't like it. I liked Face the Day, and that's about it. So, yeah, everything after I wasn't a fan of, but I got to say, my great friend here, Dennis Turney Jr., he asked me to do, it was White Once Bitten, and there was a song on that album that sounded like it could have fit perfectly on the first album, and I always loved that ballad, Save Your Love, so there's 2 songs off that, but yeah, I've heard Hooked. I have heard that because I actually got it on CD somehow. I don't know how I did get it, and I heard a couple other albums, and it just did nothing for me. Where the first album just flat out rules, and I actually listened to it now. I haven't heard it in a while, and it still holds up. It's still a great, great album. And I'm going to rank the songs off the first Great White album, which are the really, you know, the best album they've ever done in my ears. I didn't like the bluesy direction they went in. I like this early 80s heavy metal direction they were going in, but hey man, it didn't really work out for them. When they went bluesy, they became huge. So yeah, maybe this version of Great White that I like more wouldn't have been that good for the masses. I don't know. All I know is I love it more than that bluesy crap they did later, and I'm going to rank the songs now off the first Great White album, alright? At number 10, the ballad on the album, Hold On. Don't dislike it, don't really love it a lot, obviously, because it's my least favorite on the album, but I really don't dislike it. I can't say it's crap. You know, it's not one of these predictable ballads that I can't stand, but it's also nothing that, you know, really grabbed me that much, but I somewhat like it. Alright, the rest of these songs I really like. At number 9, No Better Than Hell. Oh yeah, heavy. I like the drums, the pounding. Good stuff, man. Alright, number 8, the single, which I don't think would have been, is a good single. Stick It. It's kind of, you know, I mean, yeah, it's goofy. And I even thought it was kind of goofy back then. You know, because it's like the rebellious anthem. You know, like, stick it, man. And they made a video for it. But it's a good cheeseball song. I'm not saying it's bad, but I would have never picked this as a single. Big mistake, and that's probably why this album didn't really take off. Alright, next. Bad Boys. Fun song, man. I'm on the run, bad boys. I love it, man. Great hard rockin', kick-ass rockin' tune, man. Bad Boys. At number 6, I've seen people complain about this. I love this song, and it is a cover of the Who Substitute, and I love the hell out of their version, and I love the video. The video is very punk rock. And the song, it's not like the Who version. It's more heavy metal, and I dig it a lot. Yeah, I'll say I like the Who version more, but I really like what they did with Substitute. They changed it around a bit. They didn't do so predictable. So yeah, I dig it. All right, now we're at the top 5. The last song on the album, Dead End. Fast rockin' tune. Killer, relentless ending. Love it. Alright, number 4, man, I like this one too. It's kind of a dark tune. Nightmares. You know, starts with the little like music, little box, and it gets heavy, nasty, awesome, and kind of eerie a bit. Yeah, I'm giving that to Nightmares at number 4. Alright, number 3, On Your Knees. And you know, I never got to see Great White at that time, but I did see them open for Whitesnake. And I don't know, it might have been the White, yeah, I think it was the White, Once Bitten. Whatever album had Rock Me. I think it was that tour. And I went anyway in hopes I would see some songs from the first album. And yes, they played On Your Knees. And I was like, right on, man. So I dug that part of the show. That was really cool. And they played Face the Day that night too, so I like some of it, but yeah, the bluesy stuff, no thank you. Alright, now at number 2 and number 1 was very difficult for me because I pretty much say they're tied for my favorite off the albums. Or album. But I might feel different tomorrow, but number 2 is Street Killer. It might be number 1 tomorrow. That song rips. Killer. This is the Great White I love. This heavy metal killer stuff, man. So yeah, that's number 2. But number 2 tomorrow could be Out of the Night. But Out of the Night, the opening track, is my favorite song off the first Great White album today. Right on, man. And I can't be the only one that feels this way. Is there anybody out there that you just like that first Great White album? Because they really are a different band afterwards. But, you know, there may be some of you out there like, yeah, I dig the Great White album, but I also dig the direction they went into. And that's cool. I just couldn't get into it. But, yeah, what do you think of the first Great White album? Leave it in the comments below. And isn't it sad, man? Poor, you know, Jack Russell is going through so much crap health-wise. Sad, very sad. I pray for Jack, man. I hope for the best. And relax, man. No more touring. I get it, but I hope he doesn't suffer much. That's all I can say. And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. I really do appreciate it. And if you could subscribe to my channel, if you haven't, I would appreciate that too. Ring that little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.